Hi guys, welcome back to another snapshot video. Today we have a lot of new 1.16 content yet again. So Mojang added a new biome for the nether dimension that I'm currently in right now. It's the Basalt Delta biome. Then there's also lots of new blocks, new nether music, and also the dispenser got some new features. Let's check out the new Basalt Delta biome first. So the theme is a volcanic eruption and the remnants of it. So if you fly around, obviously we can see the ash particles in the air, then a lot of basalt, a new block type. So this is Blackstone. Really like how this looks. There's also a lot of variants that you can craft it into. We'll check that out later. But there's also some normal nether terrain in between. So there's some netherrack here and there. I've seen magma blocks as well, lava, and even some nether quartz. And also some glowstone. I removed a larger slice of the world so we can see the composition of the blocks on the side. Also I had some gas spawning here, so it does happen, we can confirm that. But definitely get more magma cubes than gas. Alright, so here we can see the blocks that were generated in here. Mostly we have the basalt, but also some netherrack, blackstone and magma blocks in between. Sometimes also some gravel and lava. This also goes up to the bedrock on top as well. It also seems like no ancient debris is generating the Basalt Delta biome. If I try to replace it with a different block in a really large area, nothing happens, so there's really none inside. Let's check out all the new Blackstone blocks, while in the background we can faintly hear the new music that was added for the nether dimension. There's 3 new tracks that would play now in this dimension. Maybe it gets a bit louder, I'll just keep it running in the background. Alright, let's check out the blocks. This is the normal Blackstone block. There's also a slab stair and a wall variant, the usual crafting recipe, and a polished variant as well, which you can get by combining 4 of the Blackstone blocks in a 2x2 grid into 4 polished Blackstone blocks. There's also, of course, slab and stairs of it and a wall. And additionally, you can craft the polished Blackstone into Blackstone button and a Blackstone pressure plate. Those work exactly the same as a normal stone button or stone pressure plate. So the button would activate for 20 ticks and the pressure plate is activated by entity but not an item. Alright, next there's also a chiseled polished blackstone block, which you can get by combining 2 polished blackstone blocks, slabs, sorry. And yeah, so often there's a reference to Minecraft mobs. So for example, the chiseled sandstone has a creeper face on it and the red sandstone has a wither depiction. And I think this is actually a snout of a piglin, I'm quite sure. Alright, then we can continue here with the polished blackstone brick. So we can combine 4 of the polished blackstone into the 4 polished blackstone bricks in a 2x2 grid again. Here slab and stairs and walls as well. And if you smelt those in a furnace or the brick block, you can get the cracked polished blackstone brick block as well. This is also a really good looking block. Gilded blackstone, you can't get it apart from the creative menu yet, but I'm quite sure there might be a crafting recipe involving gold in the future. I really like this block. It's also some interaction already with the pigmen. Let's actually get some. They would attack you if you mine it near them. So same as you would, yeah, same would happen if you mine a chest, for example, near the pigmen. Let's go in survival. I have some golden boots on me. At the moment they're not aggressive, but as soon as I break the block, yep, they would attack me. Another really cool thing about the Blackstone is that to a certain extent it acts as a substitution for cobblestone in the nether dimension. So you can craft basic tools out of it and also a furnace. So like the cobblestone recipe, you need 8 blackstone to make a furnace. And all the normal stone, tool and sword crafting recipes would work. So you can make a pickaxe, shovel, etc. But it seems like the intention is that you're supposed to live completely in the nether without going to the overworld. I really like that aspect. So now I can also make a furnace to smelt items. Also related to that, you could already make a campfire in the nether dimension. But there's also now a new type of campfire using the new blue flame. So you can craft it like the normal campfire, but instead of using a coal, you use soul sand or soul soil. And this gives you the blue campfire. It seems like it acts the same, just looks blue. But we're still not at the end with the new blocks. There's even more that got added. So here you can see the new chiseled nether brick. And that's either Cthulhu or skeleton or wizard skeleton. I'm not quite sure. Probably it's a Minecraft skeleton though. Alright, here is the cracked nether brick. Usual crafting recipe. You put the brick block into a furnace. But that's still not all of it. There's also now quartz bricks in the game. Those look really nice. They're kind of like the normal stone bricks, just in white. At the moment there's no cracked variant of it. One more thing that I almost overlooked, if you mine the gilded Blackstone block, usually you just get the item as a block. Sometimes it also drops nuggets. Moving on, there's also a couple new things we can do with dispensers now. You can use them to equip pigs and horses with saddles, for example. So we got a saddle here in the dispenser, pig in front, and yep, we can equip it. It didn't say anything in the patch notes about striders, so we'll just try it out. Let's get a dispenser over here and strider directly in front, saddle inside. Let's get a button as well, and yep, this does work. There's also something new. The striders now turn blue if they're outside of lava because they're shivering. You can also do a pretty similar thing involving the llamas, so we can equip them with carpet and a chest using the dispenser. So chest got added, and now also carpet on top. This would also only work with a tamed llama. And a similar way, we can put a horse armor on a horse. But unfortunately I had no luck taming this horse. With the llama it worked immediately, but after a couple minutes of trying around, just couldn't tame this horse. Earlier it worked, I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong now. It's definitely using the empty hand. Anyway, you can definitely do it. Okay, we tried it out in single player. One more thing, you can also shear a mushroom cow using shears in a dispenser. Then you get the, as usual, the normal cow and some mushrooms on the side. And one last thing, you can also shear a snow golem using a dispenser. Let's try it out. The snow golem got immediately sheared. Was too lazy to go to overworld here, but yeah, you saw it. In general, soul soil and soul sand is now interchangeable in regards to soul fire crafting recipes. So, example, to craft a soul fire torch, you can either use soul soil or soul sand now. And previously, we've already seen craft a new soul campfire. You can also use either soul sand or soul soil. Next, there's also a really interesting change. You can now compost the nether plants. That's really interesting because of the ward blocks here on the side. We'll talk about it later. So let's check out first the categories here on the left. You have now a 50% chance to advance one composter stage per weeping or twisting vine you put into the composter. So on average you need 14 to get one bone meal. Same goes for the nether sprout. Then we have the 65% category for the roots and the fungus. And then an 85% chance to advance one stage for the ward block. And I think this one is really interesting because usually it doesn't really take that much bone meal to convert the fungus into the large tree structure. So let's actually get a warped fungus, place it down here, and let's see how many bone meal attempts it will take. Just one. And then we get quite a lot of ward blocks here. If you replace those real quick, yeah, it's already 108 and I set the fill command wrong. It's probably around 120. That means we probably will get about 12 bone meal back. And we so far only invested one. But obviously we need to get the fungus into the right place, which is a bit tricky. Because if you bone meal the nylium, the chance to actually get fungus here isn't that high. But you probably already get what I'm trying to do. If you maybe add a couple more and bone meal this, there's a better chance to get a fungus somewhere. And I'm quite sure we could make a farm that is self-sustaining. So the idea is probably we need to place down a whole row of dispensers, and just try to keep growing whatever is in front. And in case it didn't work, then we just punch out the plants after the first bone meal attempt and try to grow it again. until we get a tree. This could maybe be detected somehow or runs on a clock. And if you always harvest the warped wart block, which you can do with TNT, so you can just blow it up, get the item. You could probably actually run a tree farm running a bone meal profit. Yeah, and everything else is really automated. So I don't need to place down the, a normal tree farm would say the sapling or the fungus, since you can get it by bone mealing the nylium now. So we can make a fully automatic stem farm, which you can use for planks or whatever, using all of those new mechanics. I'm really excited about that. We'll probably spend my evening or the next day trying that out. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's really exciting. Fully automatic tree farm. And even probably runs on a bone meal profit. You have to check it out. And another really interesting change, mostly probably for the builders, but maybe also for some technical players, because the hitbox changed. Walls will now connect to glass panes and iron bars. They didn't do that before. I think it looks really nice. We'll probably also have some unintended side effects to some contraptions maybe, but in general, looks nice. And there is even more new stuff to show. This snapshot is really full of new content. You can also now make a piglin banner. So there's a new pattern in the game that at the moment you can't get in survival. The villagers don't trade for it yet, but yeah, it might be added as well. Or there's a crafting recipe combining paper with something to get the piglin pattern. So you would need to put in banner, dye, and that pattern to get the piglin banner. So I'm quite sure this should be a piglin snout, similar to the chiseled Blackstone block. Alright, then even more new stuff. We can now use the hoe, as a scythe kinda, to harvest leaves. This doesn't affect how the shears work, so you could still use the shears to instant mine leaves to get the blocks, but this is quite useful to get saplings. I'm not sure yet if fortune will also affect the drop rates. So this is definitely a thing in case you were using axes before to break the leaf blocks. You had a 10% chance to get a sapling instead of a 5% chance. So usually those dark oak trees have around 120 to 140 leaves. Let's see how many saplings we got. Usually it would have been around 5 or so. Let's pick all of them up. I think fortune definitely does have an effect. Yeah, it's more than usual. Alright, I think that pretty much covers all of it. Great snapshot once again by Moching. Also, thanks a lot guys for watching. See you on the next video. Bye bye.